This is John with Brainstorm Comics and Gaming, and this is this week's The Storm Watch. Hello, this is John with Brainstorm Comics and Gaming, and this is this week's Turning the Page. Almost said it again. We had to do a second take because I may have misintroduced it the first time. Anyway, also introducing Chris, the Power of Love. You can find him down in Brunswick, Maryland at American Tattoo.
Yep.
You have several people down there who do tattoos. No walk-ins. You must set up an appointment ahead of time.
Yep.
So, Chris, this week, Marvel did, they stood out on a limb. They went out on a limb. They did what very few people would have done.
Very few.
They went out and they were like, you know what, Joe Bennett, you've gone too far. You are fired.
I think you could say that if they did it 6 months ago, a year ago. You could totally say that, but no.
So what are our feelings on Joe Bennett finally getting the axe?
I mean, Joe Bennett's a turd. Let's just preface that. But yeah, that was total. But that was crap.
So it's kind of funny that it coincides that after Joe Bennett finishes his Immortal Hulk run.
Yeah, it ended. Like, it was like the thing happened. There was like the artwork, and everybody was in an uproar. And they were like, this is wrong and this 43? Is lame. Yeah, it was 43. They were like, this is terrible. And then nobody said another thing about it. And then all of a sudden, like, Immortal Hulk ends. And now all of a sudden, we're severing ties with everybody. And that guy is and they're citing a particular piece of, like, political artwork from 2017.
From 4 years ago.
As the cause, not what he put in the Immortal Hulk issue that they took back and then just want to pretend it didn't happen.
It's because he was writing backwards in that issue, though. And he doesn't normally write backwards.
Well,
that's what he says.
I mean,
you know, that Star of David that he also included. That, I guess that was by accident.
I retract my whole statement then, I guess.
So not only did Marvel go out on a limb, Al Ewing went out on a limb, came out and was like, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think you could say that's going out on a limb, man. Like, a tweet isn't going out on a limb. And it was total lip service. Yeah. Total lip service.
And like I said, the thing that irks me about it is they could have easily tossed him overboard on issue
they could have dropped him.
They could have easily found another artist to fill in.
Yep.
There's a lot of things they could have done and actually had the moral high ground. I think that after the story is done and the title is ending is a totally weak standpoint and a weak time to show your...
Because you're still going to make trades, you're still going to make collected editions, you're still going to make omnibuses. His name is still going to be on them. He's still going to get some type of royalty for that. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of exchange at some point.
And there's some people who are defending him. I don't know if you saw that. They're like, oh, you know, you're reading into that political cartoon and everything. And
sure. I mean, I guess there's a justification for everything. You know, it's all silly.
I just want to make sure that we do present that there isn't unfortunately neither one of us can really argue.
I don't think I don't know if anybody with a kid. Yeah, there's no leg to stand on that one. Yeah. Sorry,
he seems like a terrible person.
He just seems like a bad person. Yeah.
So
it's such a good book too. It's like it's a shame because Immortal Hulk is a really good story.
So do you think that the problem is that he's worked at Marvel, I think, for like 2 decades, almost 3 decades, something like that? Do you think it's he has too many friends there and they were kind of sheltering him, or do you think...
I think if that had happened on any other, not any other book, but another book that wasn't as popular as that book, he would have gotten the axe immediately.
Do you think so?
But I think that, like, for so long, Immortal Hulk was the Hulk. Like, what other book, you know what I mean?
It definitely rejuvenated the character.
Sure, it totally rejuvenated the character. So there's a lot of push behind it.
Although I think they could have found another artist that had a different style even. Like,
sure, and they switch artists all the time in great books, so I don't see why it was a huge deal. So it makes me think that there's something like behind the scenes or maybe some contractual thing going on.
I was saying maybe he has such deep ties with so many people in the Marvel side that they were trying to shield him and protect him.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, no.
So... Thankfully, though, he is finally gone. Although, how much did he really lose? Did they have anything really lined up for him after the...
And there wasn't any, like, talk of, like, his next project or anything, so...
Like I said, that's why it comes off as really weak on Marvel's side. And like I said, even Al Ewing's side, like, oh, never work with him again. Like,
I mean, to Al Ewing's credit, he did do that like a month ago or something, but still, it was still way too late, which makes me think that they like told Ewing not to do it, because I feel like there was way more conviction behind Ewing's statement than there was Marvel's statement.
I don't know. I still think it's weak.
Oh, totally weak.
We will turn the page on that topic and hopefully Joe Bennett's career. But before we get to the next topic, don't forget to LCS, like, comment, and subscribe to the Brainstorm Comics and Gaming YouTube channel. You are LCS. We're adding more content all the time. We're working on more reviews once I actually read a book, have time to read a book. You saw me as soon as you came in this morning, I was working on stuff. Like, it never ends, Chris. It never ends. Don't shake your head.
I will shake my head, sir.
Anyway, moving on to topic number 2. Jonathan Hickman, 2-3 years ago, promised he had a 7-year plan for the X-Men.
Epic.
He has signed on with Substack, so he is leaving that behind. Although I've heard some people start to claim that, oh, no, he never had a 7-year plan. I go, I agree with you. I don't think he had one either. But that's a whole other story. So apparently Marvel is talking about possibly doing an online-only story to close out Hickman's run. What are your feelings on that?
Gimmicky. It's super gimmicky, and I think it's silly.
I think it's a betrayal of the people who
It is a super betrayal, because anybody who has collected all of that X powers of swords of tens and X's and learned that weird squiggly circle language, and like, I would be very angry if I'd invested that much time into all that.
Have you learned the squiggly language there, Jacob? No. Our cameraman has not learned the squiggly language. He's a big X-Men fan.
Man, that event is so incredibly vast and changed so much stuff with the X-Men and mutants in general. I don't know how you're going to go back from it. I don't know how you're going to reset that and undo all of this.
Do you think they should?
Not necessarily,
Seems
no.
like there's a lot of fertile ground that he has left behind for them to...
Yeah, I mean, he rebooted it, and not even... He rebooted it in like a brightest day, darkest night kind of way, like rebooted it, like just kicked everything out and redid it all. So I don't know where you go from there. Maybe it'll be cool, but I think making the last part of that story, like the conclusion of his whatever he's concluding, online only is kind of silly.
Yeah, there better be a print edition of it at some point. Like, so from what they said, Hickman was looking for ways to do like a digital story during the pandemic because of Diamond not shipping books and things like that. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is an extension of that. But like I said, I do feel like that's a stab in the back of like all the readers who have gotten
also
to this point.
The retailers.
I was going to say, and the retailers who have helped them like build that franchise back up.
Mm-hmm. People who stuck with X-Men when X-Men was terrible for a lot of years. X-Men was horrible.
So if this does come to fruition, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be very angry about it.
I would be a little mad about it too. I think it's a little silly. And I guess it's in response to Substack. I would think that they're freaking out now because all of these creators are going to this online format. So I feel like it's a weak attempt to kind of copy that. I don't understand it.
But DC has sort of had this, like where they do the online first, digital first storylines. Yeah. But they still do print ones of the ones that are
But that would be the equivalent of them like ending Fear State online. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. It's if you did like an online compendium through like the whole thing of it, where you could get extra content or there was pieces to the story that were online throughout the whole thing, that makes sense. But just to be like, there's all these print runs and, all of these crazy books you have to buy now to complete this big crazy saga. But the last bit of it, you got to read online. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
And we're going to charge $1,000 for it.
It could be. Who knows? Disney, Marvel, money.
Did you? Oh, actually, I'll add another topic in here because I was. We'll get to that in a second, though.
Okay.
But I think you and I are on the same page on this one in terms of. It's
scary when we agree on things.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. I guess you can be right every once in a while.
Thanks. I'll take it.
So we'll turn the page on that topic.
Okay.
Hopefully, like I said, it does not happen the way that it sounds like they're trying to.
Part of me feels like it's like the old dinosaur guy in me. Like, comics are funny, books are books. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't.
And we've talked about this before. Maybe you and I didn't. Chandler and I did, I think. Scholastic had the most amount of graphic novel sales last year, and from my understanding, are on pace to crush those sales this year.
Yeah.
Dogman sold almost 1 million copies in 1 quarter. So clearly, print is not dead. Clearly,
Print and comic print isn't dead for sure. So I think trying to kill it at this point is kind of silly.
Yeah.
You know, there is things outside of the MCU. You know what I mean? Like,
you bite your dirty tongue. But we'll turn the page on that topic, and we will go to a sister topic, the one that I
just made up on the spot.
Made up on the spot. Woo! Marvel has started selling NFTs of their original stories, and apparently they're selling out in 10 seconds on the various online platforms. So perhaps the Hickman thing is in relation to that also, that they see additional money revenue in the.
It's hilarious to me that like they will do that, but they won't let their artists sell NFTs of original work that they created to like make some money, but they'll do it. It's bad. I don't know, you know.
Would you pay what these people are paying
No.
for these NFTs?
No.
Selling out in like 10 seconds.
I mean, cool. I don't know. I will.
I thought the NFT thing was dead because it sounded like a lot of the prices were starting to plummet and crater.
I think that was a very flash in the pan type thing, and it's no. I see no value in it.
You one for Christmas
Personally,
first.
you got me an NFT for Christmas? Yeah. Aw, you shopped early. You beat the lines. Yeah, I don't like NFTs in this kind of thing. Like, there's really no.
Well, this one is specifically seems dumb. Like, I don't know. I would not spend whatever. I don't even know how much they're spending. Like, if it's more than $1, I would.
I mean, I can justify in my head original artwork being sold for a ton of money. I would try to purchase some if I had that much money. I don't. So I get that, but there's a big difference between owning the original copy and holding it in your hand and buying a file on a computer.
A little bit.
To me, it seems silly, but there and again, it might just be like the old dinosaur guy in me. I don't know.
Quit yelling at clouds. All right, well, so we'll turn the page on that topic. We'll come back to it once we research it a little bit more. I just thought it would. NFTs, they're not going away apparently.
No.
So when I was going through, let's move on to the next topic. When I was going through the Facebook groups this week, one of the guys on there suggested or asked why we don't have a national comic book store chain. Do you think that would be good for the industry? Do you think that would be bad for the industry? Do you think it would be neutral?
I mean, there is one. It's called Diamond. I don't know. I don't think that it would be bad and or good. I mean, it would probably, like every other kind of big box shopping experience, it would hurt small retailers. Most LCSs are small retailers, so it would probably be bad in that frame of it.
I think you would lose personalities also. It would become more like, we want you to act this way, you want us to act that way.
Yeah, totally.
I've been into some of the larger chain stores like that do have like a couple like more, and it seems like they teach them how to act a certain way, and I'm not gonna lie, it annoys me.
You and I have had conversations about that. It doesn't annoy me as much as it annoys you.
Yeah.
There's good and bad to that situation. I think once you hit that like larger scale of things, you lose a little bit of the personality, and you lose a little bit of
What makes a comic book store special?
Yeah, totally. And I think a lot of it is, just like knowing your customer base. You know, I know you do it all the time. You'll put stuff in people's boxes like, hey, I think you'll be into this. If you're not, cool, but I think you'd like this. Where I feel like you would lose that in a big chain store. I don't know. I think there's There's good things about it. There's bad things about it. I think as a whole.
So I think if you also had a national chain, you'd also have them dictating for the whole country as to which books that they would carry. So you'd see like a drop in independence. You'd see a drop in like.
Well, I mean, they do it now with like large retailers like Barnes and Noble and Second and Charles. I mean, those fried pie variants or whatever they're called. That's the only thing they have. So if you don't have a comic book shop, but you have one of those in your area, and that's where you're buying your books from, then that's what you're getting. Yeah. So there is that too, where they're kind of dictating what you're reading. And I think that when you take something that's a small subculture or like a collector's market or something like that, and you attempt to retail it on a massive scale, you water it down a whole bunch, and and that's not cool. So.
Yeah. The other thing is, do you want the Walmart experience when you go into your comic book shop?
No.
Where you?
I don't want the Walmart experience in Walmart. Yeah.
Where you're ignored or.
And it's not even. I mean, it's not even. It's not cool. I don't think anybody likes Walmart. Like, who is like, yeah, we get to go to Walmart today. Like, I think everybody is like, we have to go to Walmart and let's get in and get out. And that's not.
Welcome our corporate sponsor, Walmart.
Yeah. Right. There's gonna be some dudes in suits showing up at the house. I swear, it's gonna be Disney or Walmart, both of them.
So like I said, I agree with you. I think also there's something to be said that like each individual comic book store does have sort of a personality. Like you can go into one and there's more of an emphasis on graphic novels. True. You go into another one, there's an emphasis on Marvel or DC. You go into a different one, there's an emphasis on independence or statues or.
Could you imagine going into Walmart to buy like a Silver Age comic, like the equivalent of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like going to like the hunting aisle or whatever and like picking your comic out of the cabinet.
I would assume if you had a corporate national chain, they would not have back issues.
Yeah, well, where do you buy back issues at? You know?
Well, that's
exactly. See?
And that's another personality thing also.
We're myth busting this right here, right now.
Well, I just think it would be too difficult for them to do back issues if you had a more corporate. Yeah. Corporate one. Unless they had a central headquarters that they sent everything back to, and they did like shipping, kind of like on My Comic Shop or.
Because most of the large retailers that you see, stores that have 4 or 5 different locations and massive square footage, you're not finding older back issues anyway. You're pretty much finding
toys,
all new stuff and toys and statues and stuff, which is a big part of the market. So a lot of people enjoy that, and I enjoy going to look at that stuff, sure, and I buy stuff. But I think like the collector's market and the heart of what makes comic books is back issues and finding older books and investment and all that good stuff. So, would it turn into some kind of weird, back issues only at like LC? I don't see how it would work. Yeah, but.
Like I said, I think they would, if there was a national chain, I think it wouldn't be huge in terms of square footage. I think they would try and minimize their square footage. I think it would probably be 1,000 square feet, showcase the new book, showcase the graphic novels, and mostly the new graphic novels again. And
sure. The sheer investment in that is just crazy.
Yeah. That's just how I would envision it if it wanted to be profitable and
just thinking about the money that you would have to invest in that.
And I think they would probably run it like the Games Workshop ones, where it's a one-man operation and they close for lunch and.
Another set of suits is going to come to my door. But have you been to a Games Workshop store?
I have not. I don't play Games Workshop.
Most of those stores are terrible. My goodness.
Are they?
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. It's not a fun experience.
But you love Warhammer.
I love to hate Warhammer, I think. But I would much rather go to a game store or a comic shop than a Games Workshop store.
Gotcha.
100%.
So we'll turn the page on that one. I think both of us agree that we will not see a national chain.
It really is the apocalypse coming up, man.
Unless Disney starts their own chain, but they would only sell Disney books.
I don't even want to think about that.
No?
Nope.
So moving on to our last topic. One of my favorite shows, you'll laugh at me for it, was in the 90s was Best Week Ever on VH1.
You like yourself some old VH1 stuff,
I do.
Don't you? Pop-up video was great.
We should do pop-up comics. Like, do a page and, like, do a little, maybe not.
Blurbs about, like, the comics?
Yeah. We can do a whole one on Joe Bennett. We can do behind the comic book also.
Yeah.
We start with Joe Bennett.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Or not, you know.
Just fire, just spitting fire right now.
So the question for this topic was, who had the best Wednesday ever this week?
Who, as in like
Who or what? You know, whatever you
what,
feel had a great Wednesday for the comic industry.
I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know. Who do you think had the best week ever?
I'm gonna go with Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino teaming up again. Primordial came out this week. Jeff Lemire, everything he touches seems to turn to gold. But maybe they'll be my runner-up because Marvel's having the best week ever with their NFTs. Like I said, they're selling out in freaking seconds, and they don't even have to produce anything.
I think that Iron Man variant is having the best week ever.
That's a good one too.
That's a lovely one. Yeah.
I think I'm going with the Marvel NFTs for mine. I think that's my final answer.
Yeah.
Jeff Lemire was close though.
I mean, Lemire is. I think I'm looking forward to reading that book for sure. I've been looking forward to reading it, and I think you're right that everything he touches turns to gold right now. And he deserves it.
Well, I think his thing is he doesn't stay too long on anything.
Mm-mm.
He knows the story he wants to tell.
He gets in and gets out.
He doesn't milk it for forever. Nope. I do think Gideon Falls could have gone a little bit longer, but
I don't know if the world is ready for that amount of weird for that much longer. I mean, in all honesty, perhaps.
So let's talk about the Iron Man 12 variant cover.
That variant is great. It's awesome.
Who could have predicted that?
I don't know. I remember having this weird conversation, 3 months ago or something, about like, hey, look at this. And I was like, wow, that's rad. And apparently it flew square under the radar till today. Mm-hmm. Or yesterday, I guess, because it popped up on everybody's Hot 10 list all of a sudden at the end of the night last night.
Selling for like $20, $25 right out of the gate.
It's a super good cover, too. It's genius.
Although it cracks me up because people started lowering their prices to $15, and I'm like, there's only like 20 of them online. Like, you're not competing with...
No. I think people who like Iron Man, who like Miles...
Well, Iron Man sales are kind of low right now.
They are. I think it might boost Iron Man sales. You and I have talked about that. I just think it's a genius cover, and to put it on an Iron Man book makes it even weirder, but like cooler for some reason.
We'll have the camera guy pop up the cover so you can see this.
It's a great cover.
So you can see this as well.
And I know where to find a couple copies, too. I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy. There might be one or two floating around.
Might be one or two.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah, like when I saw that cover, I'm like, this is going to be an iconic Miles cover.
It's like the Jordans cover, you know what I mean? Or they're not Jordans, I guess. They're Nike-like Jordan shoes, whatever. Same thing, though, you know?
Yeah, I think much like the Detective 880, like years from now, people are going to want this cover.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of the iconic
genius
Miles,
covers.
Miles
totally.
books.
Yep. And it's the old costume, too, which I think anybody is trying to hold on to that old costume because the new costume is terrible.
Now, I would say the only thing to diminish him from having the best week ever is that Spidey and his Amazing Friends cartoon, which has named him... I forget what he called him. What do they call him? Spin. They call him Spin.
Yeah, it's something terrible. It's something so terrible.
I don't know why they hate one of their cash cows.
I don't know either. It's like they've stopped beating on Peter for a while, and they're just going to start beating on Miles for a bit.
And then they gave him a terrible costume.
And they gave him a terrible costume. Horrible. Bad. Just bad.
Starting to rethink that best week ever?
No, I'm still thinking like that's why he's having the best
Wednesday ever.
That's why he's having the best Wednesday ever. He doesn't have to wear that silly sweatsuit thing that they put him in now. Yeah. Ugh.
So terrible.
Bad. Bad. Like I don't even know if I want to keep reading the book because I don't want to look at it. And it's so good right now. Like the Clone Saga run was so great, and it's just
makes you go.
That outfit.
So. For those of you, let us know who you think or what you thought had the best Wednesday ever. There's a lot of options out there.
There was a bunch. Yeah.
Star Wars had a good one this week.
Those the ship variants that they've been doing.
You love those.
Oh my god, they're so good. The blueprint covers are so good. I'm snatching them up. There's none left. I bought them up.
Joker
having
the best Wednesday ever.
But like it makes me sad because I know it's coming to an end.
Yeah. They better find somebody else to take it over.
I don't know if... I was just talking with somebody like 10 minutes before we started shooting out there. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep reading Batman when Tynion's done.
Joshua Williamson is a good writer.
He is, but I don't know if he's going to have the same...
Joshua Williamson is having one of the best Wednesdays
You know
ever.
what? Let's throw him in there. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, everybody's having a good Wednesday.
the comic buyers are having the best Wednesday ever.
You know what? This is a really good 5-week. You know what? It's a 5-week month, so it's a 5 Wednesday month, and they're usually kind of weird and silly. But this month has been really good so far.
Yeah,
there's been some really good stuff that's come out.
It was a kind of independent light this week, but if you're a Marvel or DC fan, there were definitely a lot of good Marvel and DC. Yeah. Although, like I said, Primordial is
the banger. It was a Maze book last week.
Maze book, yeah, Lemire
which was super good. Lemire is just on fire. Fuego. Maybe he's having the best year. Man.
Like I said, let us know what you think.
Everybody's having the best week ever, the best Wednesday ever.
But we will turn the page on that topic. Maybe we'll make this a regular feature where we talk about the best Wednesday ever.
And maybe we won't just say everybody's having the best Wednesday ever.
I say that because I know that you know that we tend to be a very positive shop, and you feel like sometimes the videos get a little more on the negative side. But
I try not to be a crotchety old man.
Well, the thing is, I think we like talking about the.
Me too. Yeah.
But
Jeff Lemire and Tinian.
Yeah. So we'll turn the page on that topic for this week, though, and we'll close up by saying don't forget to visit the Frederick location in downtown Frederick. Lots of great restaurants, record stores.
Scenic, beautiful downtown
candy
Frederick.
stores.
Candy stores.
Antique stores.
Sure.
A little bit of everything.
Bars.
Great day trip if you're looking for a day trip.
Food
If you're looking for back issues, however, you probably want to go to Walkersville.
Yep.
Tens of thousands of books for you to peruse. I just pulled up some Fantastic Four, probably 2 long boxes worth, and I didn't have space for them, so they're laying on top of the back issues right now. But.
Yeah, I was like looking through them earlier today, like flipping, casually. You know, you got the casual flip through. You know,
there's some good stuff in there.
There was some good covers in there. Yeah, definitely.
So that's it for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed the turning the page, and hopefully you join us next week.
Yay.